Hi everybody, this is Anne. We have again elicited the help from the very talented members of the Pottery Studio Facebook group for the next 2 videos. We asked everybody for their best-selling small item pottery gifts. We got a lot of creative and inspirational answers. We wanted to count down the top 10. This week we'll present the first 5 and I'll show you how to construct one version of the popular salt and pepper shakers. Starting with number 10, the very talented Lynn Flyer shared her intricately decorated coffee pour-overs. These can be hand-built or thrown. They're cone-shaped designs that have a large hole on the bottom and fit on top of coffee mugs. Hot water poured over coffee grounds in the cone helps to manage the temperature of the water as well as the taste and texture. Number 9 is the espresso cup. These beauties were carefully wheel-thrown and glazed by the inspirational Simone Homdahl. A standard cup holds about 2 to 3 ounces of espresso. Porcelain is the preferred clay as it's a better heat insulator. Number 8 is the sponge holder. These were created by the very resourceful potter Freddie Moretti. He throws bottomless cylinders, then cuts down the walls so he's left with a slot for the sponge to fit into. Freddie says they're so popular he rarely has any left when he sells them at festivals. Here's another version made by the creative Sherry Sadler Chandler, where the dramatic glaze highlights her beautiful cutouts. Number 7 is the traditional soap dish. Here's a hand-built soap dish I created with coils. If you'd like free instructions on how to make it, check out the video, How to Make a Coiled Soap Dish. Of course, you don't have to make a traditional piece. This imaginative soap dish was hand-built by the amazing artist Liz LaRue. Her use of the small details from the spigot, the claw foot, the bath mat, and even the towel and scrub brush make this an irresistible gift for someone. Number 6 is the salt and pepper shakers. Every kitchen has a set. This particular set features a filler hole with a cork on one side of the body and shaker holes on the opposite side. For more information about how to make these, check out my video workshop series. You'll find links in the description below. Here's a unique design wheel thrown by the fabulous Lynn Barnwell. I love how she uses a handle on hers. She also uses a flat-ended rubber stopper on the bottom hole where you insert the salt and pepper. Here's one more easy design that I thought I would demonstrate for you. These are thrown on the wheel, so I started with about 1 1/4 pounds of clay. I centered it on the wheel and hollowed out the center. I pulled the bottom outward a little less than 3 inches wide and compressed the bottom. I then pulled the walls upward to create a tall, thin cylinder shape at least 5 inches tall. I used a red rubber rib to straighten the sides and smooth the clay. I used a needle tool to even the rim. I then compressed the rim flat and wide with my fingers like this. I measured the diameter of the opening, which was a little less than 3 inches, the same as the floor of the cylinder. I also measured down 2 inches from the rim and carefully cut this off the top. I removed and flipped this section from the cylinder. This will become the bottom foot of the shaker. Now I'll work on the body of the shaker. I don't want this taller than 2 inches, so I decided to cut the cylinder down a bit to fit my aesthetic. I'm going to close this form at the top, so I sponged the clay so it was damp, and then used a 6-point choke technique to pull the clay inward, eventually closing it up. Now that air is trapped into it, I shaped it the way I wanted it. Since the closed form will sit on top of the foot, I used my inward pronged side of the calipers to measure the width of the top of the foot. Then I compared it to the bottom of the closed form to see if they'd fit together. I needed to trim away just a little bit of the closed form until it was the right size, and then I wired it off the bat. I let both sections stiffen up a little, and then I centered the foot section onto the bat. I cleaned up the top rim and flattened it out. I then scored both sections and slipped one of the sections. I stacked them together, making sure there was a good connection between the two. I ribbed the clay again to smooth around the connection. I decided to indent a series of rings up and down the body of the shaker. The companion shaker will be smooth, so you can tell the difference between the salt and the pepper. Here are the two together. Now when you turn it over, you can see that there is enough room for a protruding cork. I waited for the shaker to dry to leather hard before cutting the holes. For the filler hole, I placed a large side of the tapered cork flat to the bottom, as centered as I could. I traced around it with a needle tool and carefully cut it out. My clay shrinks 15%, so the cork should fit nice and snug around its tapered middle after it's high-fired. For the shaker holes, I centered the piece to the wheel head and found the top center. I pierced 3 holes evenly in that center with the needle tool, opening up the hole just a little more than the width of the needle. For my porcelain, that should be enough to let the salt and pepper shake out easily without pouring too fast. You'll notice that one shaker is taller than the other. I left a little extra clay on the second shaker's foot section so that once I was finished with both of them, I was able to cut the foot size down to match the shorter one. Now they're similar in shape and size, but just different enough so you can tell them apart. Once these were bone dry, I illustrated them with underglaze like this. And there you have the first 5 of the 10 best-selling pottery gifts. Be on the lookout for part 2 where we finish the countdown. If you liked our video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. See you next time in the studio.